Well, hello there. Do you find yourself stuck looking at the numbers? I'm talking like page views, subscribers, and maybe even followers on social media. If so, this is the place you need to be right now, where I'm going to be introducing to you the numbers that really matter. And let me tell you, if you're anything like I used to be years ago, you're looking at the wrong things. I look forward to sharing with you why I mean that and what those numbers are and exactly what they mean to your growth as an online business owner. So let's get started with today by letting me share with you the topic of today's show. The two numbers you must know to scale. This is a subject that you really want to become more familiar with than those page views, those subscribers, and yes, even those social media followers. And it's true when I say time and time again that it's not about the size, but about the strategies that's going to scale you. So when you're scaling, these are the numbers you're going to want to consider. Let me show you that. Before we get started, I want you to know knowing your must numbers is essential to a business. Knowing how to improve those numbers is vital to scaling a business. So you're not just knowing the numbers, but you have to understand how to improve those numbers in order to scale. And I've got you covered on both of those today, and I'm excited to be sharing this with you. You might want to grab a piece of paper just in case you want to take some notes. This is a good one to take some notes on. So the number one number you need to be thinking about is conversion rates. Conversion rate means, I'm going to call conversion rate CR. A CR is collected by dividing the number of visitors that lands on a call to action page by the number of visitors that converted by completing the call to action on that page. All right, let me give you a quick example so that you can understand what this number means as we're moving forward in the further explanation. Let's say you have a lead magnet, right? And you share that lead magnet where you're wanting people to come and do what? Subscribe. So a conversion rate is how many people actually land on that lead magnet page that actually becomes a subscriber. That is the conversion rate that goes from the one page to becoming your subscriber. And that's the conversion rate. That's the number you want to become more familiar with. Your page views, that doesn't matter because it doesn't matter how many people land on that page. It's more about how many people do the action of that page, okay? So I hope you understand the why behind what I'm teaching you so that as you're implementing this into your business and you're looking at the right numbers, you're understanding the what behind it as well as the why. So CR, conversion rates, include conversions in these call to action areas. This is what you're going to want to write down because you want to know these more and more. Clicks to learn more. How many people are actually seeing your things on social media and clicking to learn more on your page? You may have a big reach that are seeing your things, but are they really doing the call of action on what you're posting? If so, you need to know that conversion rate. And then opt-ins to your email list opens your email. How many people on your list actually open your emails? That's very important. Downloading your resources, purchasing your offers, and then refers a friend. These are things that are very important to scaling your business. Why it's as important is because it lets you identify things that can be tweaked. More importantly, it lets you know what's working and what's not. So if you're just looking at that front end number and say, okay, I have 100 people that looked at this opt-in today, and you just look at that and say, oh, I'm doing amazing. But you get no one to actually subscribe, or let's just say you have 2 people subscribe, that's 2%. Guess what? That's what the average in our industry is 2%. That's not good enough. You need to get those numbers at higher than double digits. You need to do more than 10%. You need to keep tweaking until that number gets higher and higher, right? And when it comes to opening your emails, that's not enough. There's a call of action inside that email, or at least there should be. And you need to be looking, okay, how many people opened the email and how many people actually did a call of action inside the email, right? So they're conversion numbers, and that's what matters. It's not how many subscribers you have. It's not necessarily how many opened your emails, but how many people actually did the call of action inside those emails? Do you see how conversion rates are more important? Marketing strategies work to increase the number of conversions while improving the calls to action to become more effective to scale the bottom line. So this is what you're focusing on. These are the things that you have to understand. If you're seeing some pretty poor conversion rate, and it's okay. I just told you 2% is the industry percentage. It's poor. That's really poor. And there's just a few tweaks to marketing strategies that will literally make that number begin to scale. It's very easy to get a 10%, 15% conversion rate with the right marketing behind it. And that's what's cool. So what you want to do is be thinking about how can I increase that number? What tweaks can I do to make it better? That's where the marketing comes in. If you think marketing is growing your subscriber list, growing your page views, and growing your followers and social media, you're wrong. That's not marketing. That's curiosity. Okay, and I want you to understand the difference. Marketing means that you actually are getting sales, you're growing your profits, you're becoming a business. So you want to be very strategic about how that looks and knowing what numbers matter. So here's the scaling truth. Actively listening to your market is the only way to increase the conversion rate to scale a business's bottom line. Here's what I mean by this. If you're throwing things out there and your audience, your market is not actually doing anything to it, you're wasting your energy, your resources, your money, you're wasting it because your audience is saying, I don't want that. But if you're literally looking at the conversion rates of whatever it is that you're doing and you're critiquing it and you're tweaking it and you're making it better and those conversion rates are going up, it's because you're actively listening to what your audience is saying by none of their actions as well as what they're saying to you. The more you actively listen, the better you're going to become at scaling, the better you're going to become at increasing that conversion rate. So actively listening needs to be one of the most important things that you do in your market day in and day out, and becoming a master of actively listening and understanding what your audience really wants. So if you're looking at impressions, stop today. If you're looking at reach, stop today. If you're looking at engagements, that's the beginning of actively listening, where the engagements are. And then if you look at the conversion rates based on the click-throughs of whatever it is that you're having them do, that is where business starts. It does not start at engagement. It surely doesn't start at impressions. So you've got to pay attention to these core things to business. All right, here's where you want to get your paper ready. Here's what you're going to want to start doing today. Scaling actions. Survey your audience around your unique authority factor. If you don't know what that is, I share about that in the Uncover Your Unique Authority Factor. This is what makes you specialized inside your market. Okay, I am a homeschooling blogger, but I'm a Charlotte Mason blogger. So that makes me a little more specialized, right? However, my unique authority factor is planning around the Charlotte Mason method while raising self-educating children. It's far different than most of the Charlotte Mason bloggers out there, right? So in fact, no one is talking about self-education. When I ask the question to my audience around that self-education, about what all that entails about raising self-educating children through planning, my business changed. My business literally pivoted. So you want to start doing those things right now in your market, asking questions, actively listening, right? And then you want to diagnose the root cause of their pain points. What's the root cause? What's making your audience not be able to get the results that they want with what they have available to them? What's missing? You need to identify that and align it up with your unique authority factor. And then your next action step is going to be create an opt-in that will get them started in solving their pain points. You're not solving it all, you're getting them started, right? So it's a lead magnet. That's a little commitment from them to help you to be able to help them further down the road. And then your next scaling action is create a product that solves the root cause. You need to give them a product. That call of action, that conversion rate really only matters in business when it's an action of sale. It's the only thing. That's the whole thing that you're going to want to be doing for your business is when you are realizing the bottom line is your profits. And then serve your way to a sale. How do you do that? You serve your audience. You actively listen, you solve their problems, and you serve your way to a sale. Okay, here's the number 2 number you need to be focusing on. And this is something I don't hear a lot of people talking about, but it's so important. Customer acquisition cost. The customer acquisition cost is calculated by dividing all the costs spent on acquiring more customers by the number of customers acquired in the same period of time the money was spent. I remember the first time I heard the customer acquisition cost, I was listening to Shark Tank quite a few years ago. And Mark Cuban got so mad when a participant on the show could not answer this question: what's your customer acquisition cost? The guy looked like he was a deer in headlights. He could not even answer this. And Mark was done. He's like, I don't work with anyone who does not know a customer acquisition cost. I remember thinking, tomorrow I've got to research what that is, because if he is that upset about not knowing that, it's important to business. So that's when I went into work of understanding what a customer acquisition cost is and how that relates to me and my online business. So here's what it is. You're going to think about all the expenses you have in a set period of time and how many customers you acquire during that time. And then you need to divide that number to find out what your customer acquisition cost is. That means you spent that much money to attain or acquire that customer. Why is that number even important? Well, it's important because if you don't know that number, you cannot scale your business strategically. So you're just going to throw money out the window and not know what works. This is probably one of the biggest numbers you're going to need to know, as well as your conversion rate, in order to scale your business. If you do not focus on these 2 numbers on an ongoing term, you're not going to grow your business long term. All right, so here's what they include. Okay, so you're going to be tailing up your money in a set period of time. It can be a week, it can be a month, it could be 6 months, whatever. It could be long-term as a year if you want. But this is with the money spent in acquiring new customers. This is what you need to look at. Your affiliates. How much are you paying your affiliates? Your ads, your marketing team. Do you have someone on your team helping you market? Are you having a sales team? Someone that is literally asking questions about your product? Do you have a customer service team? Let's say you open up enrollment and you have people answering questions for you. All of that matters. Every penny matters. So let's say you have this large amount. Let's just say you've spent $5,000. Let's go even. Let's say you spent $1,000. Okay. Let's say you spent $1,000 and you acquired 10 customers during the same time. How much did you pay for that customer? Well, if you did the math, you divided 10 into 1,000, you would have $100. You spent $100 to acquire that customer. Here's the problem with online marketers today. They are only looking at their ads, how much they pay out on ads to acquire a customer. That's not true. That's part of the thing. But if you're paying someone to help you close the sale, if you pay someone to help you attract the sale, if you help somebody after the sale, to know if it's how to get into it and all that stuff, that's acquiring a customer. All of that matters. And this is why I really am behind the thing that people are spending too much money on their affiliates. I know my customer acquisition number when I put ads out. I know because I don't have a marketing team, I don't have a sales team, and I don't have customer service. I am a one-man band, and I know when I put ads out, I know what my customer acquisition number is. And so that helps me to know how much I can put out in ads and how much I can afford and still profit on that. But if you're throwing out 50%, 40% on your affiliates, and then on top of that, paying a marketing, paying a sales team, paying customer service, paying ads, you have no profit at the end of the day. So this is where knowing your customer acquisition cost, your CAC, matters. And this is why Mark Cuban got so mad on Shark Tank. It makes sense once you understand how important this number is. When you know how much a customer costs you to obtain with all of these things in place, you can then become strategic in your marketing. So marketing strategies work to keep the customer acquisition number as little as possible while increasing the number of customers, and that's your conversion rate. So this is why you must become a student of marketing. This is why you must become a student of your conversion rate and understanding how to tweak those, how to make them better so that you can increase from the average industrial of 2% as high as 5%. Get that number up. It's not hard to do. And then you want to look at the customer acquisition number. How much money is going out to acquire those customers in that same amount of time will help you to determine how much you can actually put into an ad to make it profitable for you. If you don't know that and you're just throwing money out, you're not scaling your business. Most likely you're actually burying your business. So here's the scaling truth. Increase the conversion rate while decreasing the customer acquisition cost is the only way to scale a business bottom line. And I'm going to tell you something that shocked me. I mean, really shocked me. I was privy to understanding how much I was on the JV team. I know how much someone actually acquired in profits, well, not profits, in sales during a set period of time. That number was $3.3 million. And they had a sales team, they had a marketing team, they had customer service team, they had ads, and they had affiliates. They had all five, let me get into the camera, all five of those things I just shared with you running for their business. They broke even. And their strategy was, well, we will get them on the next product. That's not business, y'all. That's business suicide. You need to be profitable on your first product, your next product, and your third product. You should be scaling profits all the way through. Knowing your customer acquisition number, knowing what all goes into acquiring that customer is what will make you scalable. And then also increasing your conversion rate will help you do that. But throwing money out the window just for a sale is not the right business. And that's what I want you guys to stop thinking about as you're going into your business. I want you to be strategic about all of these 5 areas that will impact your customer acquisition cost. And if Mark Cuban says it's important, trust me when I tell you it's important. So here's your scaling actions. You better have your paper ready because you want to write these down, okay? These are what you're going to want to start doing. Create recurring income from one marketing event. What does that mean? Well, you're going to put energy out in literally moving someone from serving to converting. Then you want to make sure that all of that effort you've put into selling them into your product, that you can actually get paid for it more than that one time. That's what reoccurring income is, right? And then the second thing is create a program that creates word of mouth referrals at the back end of one marketing event. This is what I mean. You have a program that has recurring revenue, right? In recurring income. They're paying you X amount of dollars for 6 months or for a year. You take that and you're only putting one effort at the front of your marketing event, whatever that marketing event is, right? So now you're making more money with the same effort, but you have this program that is beautifully constructed in a way that creates word of mouth referral at the back end. You're doing nothing for the referrals coming in that back end because you've done it hard in the beginning and building that product. So now you're scaling. You see this? And then your third thing is optimizing your marketing message to increase conversion rates. So here we get back to that first number. You need to be actively listening and increase that conversion rate. And then utilize a lean sales team with tools and systems. Here's where I want you to hear me. This is not now. If you're brand new to product creations, or if you have some, I've been making products for years and I'm still a one-man band when it comes to my marketing, when it comes to my sales, when it comes to my customer service. Not to say that all this time I haven't been building tools and systems so that when I get to the point where I'm ready to bring people in, I already have the systems in place with the onboarding things to get them all ready and moving fast. So I have been utilizing my time smart to build a smart team that will help keep that customer acquisition cost down. And then automate customer service needs. Honestly, most of the customer service that most of us need has a couple of things pulled into it. Number one, you have issues tech-wise that need to be fixed. Every person online has them. Fixing them before you have this huge onboarding of new customers is important. But in addition to that, there's only a set of actually frequently asked questions that you can automate and make that easier. These are those scaling actions you're going to want to do to decrease the cost of your customer and make sure that you're increasing that conversion rate. Scaling is happening just with these things. I hope you can see the power of strategies with knowing those must-to numbers. So before concluding this call, if you have anything you want to ask me or talk about with this, go ahead and drop it in the comments. I'd love to answer them for you. But before I conclude today's show, let's recap. So the two numbers you're wanting to focus on is your conversion rate and your customer acquisition cost. Your conversion rate is how many people landed on a call of action page. Let's say it's an opt-in page, and how many of them actually converted. That is your conversion rate. That's important. You want to tweak that. The industry's 2 to 5%, easily can get to 10 to 15% with the right strategies, tweaking marketing. And then the second one is customer acquisition cost. This is how much money are you spending to acquire a new customer and how many customers come in for that cost. You divide the two and you come up with your customer acquisition cost. That will help guide you in all your marketing and your team building process. All right, well, I'm looking forward to next week's call where I'm going to be talking about the pivot factor. The pivot factor is something that you're going to want to experience inside your business, especially if you've been doing this for a while. If you've been doing online content creation for a while, the pivot factor is something you want to lean into and listen to because it not only can change your life moving forward, your financial life, but it can also change the life of your market. And this is where business becomes very scalable, is when you focus in on the pivot factor and understanding that what you offer shouldn't just be changing your life, but should changing the lives of your audience. It's going to be a good one. So I'll see you on Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next Blog to Business show, and I look forward to it. Now, if you have not joined my group, which has recently been changed to Idea to Recurring Income Incubator, I really encourage you to search that on Facebook. It used to be called the Tribe of Product Creators. But honestly, I want you guys thinking not just about creating products. I want you to get it past this whole mindset of digital books. I want you to get past the mindset of digital courses. It's not there. I want you to be zooming in on products that actually create reoccurring income. And I'm not talking memberships. I'm literally talking programs. So you're going to want to be watching. I have some really good shows coming up that I'm going to talk more about what programs are and the difference between a program and a membership. But what's really important is you must solidify a product idea. You can't do any of those things until you've solidified a product idea. Inside the Idea to Reoccurring Income Incubator, I'm in there. And if you have any desire in getting help, coaching you through the solidify the product idea, that's me. I'm there for you anytime. You can throw me a message in DM. You can post inside the group and tag me and say, these are some ideas. How do I get there? I even have a 4-part free video series for the 4 foundational strategies that you're going to want to look through to make sure that you have a solidified product idea that is marketable and that will sell. So I hope you join me in there, and then I'll see you next week on the Blog to Business show. Until then, bye for now.